Hello, welcome back to the interface. My name's Alex, and today we're going to look at the infotainment system on the Hyundai Ioniq 5 for 2025. The Ioniq 5 actually has a pretty decent infotainment system, and the app, which we'll look at a bit later, is really good as well. All the brands that live under the Hyundai umbrella, like Genesis and Kia, all sort of share the same sort of technology makeup, and that means they're all pretty good really. So the Ioniq 5 actually has two displays. The main infotainment screen is 12.3 inches, as is the driver's display, which we'll look at a bit later. The main screen has support for wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, the aforementioned Bluelink app for your phone, and just a whole load of customization. I'm always staggered whenever I review a Hyundai or Kia vehicle, or a Genesis vehicle as well, the amount of customization you've got when you look into all the settings. That's why a lot of these videos are actually quite long. What you're looking at right now is actually the home screen, so it's kind of a few widgets basically. On the left hand side is the map, and in the middle here is your media or Apple CarPlay. And then if you swipe over to this side, you get access to all the apps and more apps on this side as well. And that is pretty much it. Every menu in here is actually quite deep, which you'll discover in this video. So back on the main home screen, there's a few things you've got. You've got a hamburger menu in the top right hand corner, and this gives you access to a few things. You can reset the menu order. You've got profile settings and the online manual. We'll look at profile settings in the main settings page a bit later, but that can also be accessed from this section if you need it to. At the top in the middle, you've got the date, which if you click on it, it will take you to the time and date settings. Back to the home screen. Same thing for the time, that will take you to the time and date settings as well. Again, we'll look at that a bit later. You've got the icons here. One is for Bluelink Live. So that just tells you how much signal the car's got on its SIM card. Got three out of 5 bars there. And that gives you access to remote services like seeing where the car is remotely, seeing what the battery level is, seeing all loads of different stats on the car, which we'll look at in that app a bit later. If you swipe up from the bottom, nothing happens, but if you swipe down from the top, you get access to the quick control, or the control center. There's a few things in here. You can customize it as well. You've got the option to turn the display off if you want to, and just tapping the screen again will turn it back on. You've got the split screen view here. You've got the volume control for either navigation guidance, or the brightness. You've got quiet mode, and if you click on settings, you can add a bunch of stuff in here, like voice memo, the beeps, not a space, that's fine. And there's loads of things like the sound stage and different things like that. If we reset it back to factory, which is probably what it was actually on, there we go, you can see what it's like by default. Swiping that back up takes you back to the main screen, and that's your main home screen. Now the climate control in this car is actually really good, really accessible. Some of the Kia models have a screen just to the right hand side here. The Genesis models have a fully sort of touch based and physical switches based climate control system, and Hyundai thankfully are doing the same kind of thing. It is all touch based on this sort of display here, which we'll look at just now. Move the camera down, and you can see here you've got this little screen. So you've got all these physical buttons for a starter. You've got the volume knob here, which is fantastic to see. Got a shortcut to the home screen, the map, search, tracks, media, a favorites button, which we'll look at a bit later. The setup takes you to the settings screen, and a tune icon as well. In most of Hyundai's vehicles, you can actually remap these volume switches. So if you want this dial here to be the volume, you can do exactly that if you want to as well. Here you've got the on-off switch for the entire car, and you've got a load of touch-based controls for controlling the climate control. So you've got the driver-only button there for the air conditioning. You can turn everything off if you want to. You can turn things back on. Temperature, automatic mode, windscreen, fan speed, direction of air travel. So that will tell you where it's going. And you've also got the back window, temperature for the passenger side, recirculation, sync, and the AC. Just pan the camera back up now. So the first app I want to look at is actually the navigation app. So it's this one here. And this has a few pretty good features really. The mapping system on Hyundai and Kia vehicles has come a long way in the past few years, and it now does have pretty good route planning as well. On this page here, you've got obviously the map. It's got fairly good panning responsiveness. Just pinch to zoom gives you can just literally use that and get directions to that pinpoint. It's quite a nice feature. And you can set that as destination, or save it, or search nearby points of interest. This side panel here is basically telling you how much power is being drawn by the car. So I've just got the electronics on and the climate control, and you can see how much power is being drawn. Basically 200 watts from all the electronics, not much at all really. On this button down here, another hamburger menu, you've got all the settings for the map app. So you've got traffic information, you can recalculate the range, got EV range here. So click on EV range. That'll probably give you a good view on what the car can do. So turn that back on, there we go. So I've got 313 miles of range. You can see on this map here where I can actually get to. So you can see you can get all the way up to nearly Scotland here on one charge, down here as well. So it's pretty good to let you know where you can actually get to. You can turn that on and off if you want to as well. Traffic info is on or off, and that just lines these roads with the green outline if traffic isn't moving too quickly or moving quickly for you. Got nearby information, you can show points of interest icons. So if we zoom out again, I do all, so you can see there's some charges there and different things like that. And traffic information, save location, navigation settings. So there are loads of settings in here for the navigation, which we'll look at a bit later actually, because this will be all within the main settings app as well. Then you've got source of information, it comes from Google. And you've got the online manual, which should take you to the navigation section. Again, we'll look at that online manual a bit later. So the first thing I want to do is look at how the Ioniq 5 handles route planning. So I'm going to pick a location that's going to be quite far away for the car. Let's do Aberdeen. It's about 400 and something miles from exactly where I am now, so it should be a good challenge for it. You can see in the top left-hand corner, you've got the Google Maps icon, and that means all the points of interest are coming from Google. So let's click on this one. And it will include charging stations, because it will be a little bit too far for the car, which is absolutely fine. It's saying 445 miles. And then if you click off, it won't load the route for you, which is exactly what you want. We've got 8 hours and 2 minutes. And if we go back a page here, you can see here, it would have taken us to Osprey at 10:08 PM, there for 16 minutes. eVolt network for 22 minutes. Actually, it's in the bottom to top order, and then we'll get to where we're going with 30%. That's coming from Bluelink. There are some options in here. So what you can do is, if we wait for this to load again, you can actually specify how much battery level you want where you get to, essentially. So if we click on settings, we can say minimum charge arrival at charging station, let's do 20%, and then minimum charge at destination, let's do 15%. We'll go back and we'll recalculate that route again, and it should be fine. I've noticed with the Ioniq 5 that it is way more efficient than it lets on it's going to be. You can see here 7 hours 56 now with, again, just 2 stops. One is 10 minutes, one is 22 minutes. Easy. Really, really easy there. There isn't any options in here to actually customize the charging networks you want to use. So it doesn't look like you can actually go in here and specify, oh, I only want to use the Tesla network, for example. It is going to be picking itself what it thinks is the best ones for you. So just bear that in mind, that there isn't any option to, the only thing you can really do is pick fastest recommended or most economic route. That's as far as the customization goes, but it's actually quite handy. I'm going to do one more here, and that is going to be going to Europe and see how it handles that. Let's say Berlin. It's going to be quite far away. Again, the data is coming from Google. 651 miles. I'll do set as destination. Do the fastest routes. Again, it will take a little bit longer because of the complex type of thing that you're asking it to do, really. It says available charging stations will be updated automatically while driving. So it says 15 hours, 810 miles, and 4 stops. That's it, really. For barely any time, because it's picked really, really quick ones. One of the ones it picked in the UK was quite potentially a 400 volt charger, so it wasn't going to charge as quickly. But 14 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 16 minutes, and you're there, basically. It's really, really simple to do. If we go back to the route options here, if we go back to the more routes, we've got one more route for it to pick for us. But this kind of thing, if you're not so conscious about the price of what you're paying for your electric charging, it offers such a really simple way to just get around. The fact that this is built into the car is a really good thing. Obviously, Tesla's had this kind of thing for a long time, but it's just telling you what you need to do here, and it will remind you to move on, essentially, and it will message you when your car's done its specific what it's needed to get there. So that's really, really handy. So pretty good map app built into the Ioniq 5 there. You've also got Apple CarPlay on here, which is wireless as standard, and it has a whole host of features like Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, Apple Maps, and much more. And there's a bunch of third-party stuff on here like Google Maps, Adjust Park, and all that sort of good stuff there. If we go back to the main screen, we've got the EV mode as well, so the EV app. This tells you the current battery level on the car and how far it is to the next charging station. In this instance, it's 2.8 miles away to get to a nearest Instavolt, and it does tell you actually how much range you'll lose by turning on the air conditioning system. It's about 3 miles. This car does have a heat pump, but it obviously will knock off a tiny bit of range, and in the general scheme of things, 3 miles is fine. On this page here, it gives you a whole bunch of very nerdy information about how much power the car is using. So you've got the battery status again, the nearest charging station, the locking the port while charging. You've got battery conditioning mode, which you can actually do manually now on the Ioniq 5, the new one, and then the electricity use as well. So if we click on this one here, you can see 89% is driving, electronics is 9%, 2% is the climate, and battery care is 0. And then you've got energy consumption history. So this was before I had it, 20 seconds. Yeah, it's got some trips in here being 4.3 miles per kilowatt hour, 3.7, 3.9, 4.2. So this isn't actually my car. It's one I've got in for review from Hyundai. So you can see other people who've driven it have actually managed to get pretty good fuel economy as well. Pretty good though. In this section as well, you've got the departure or the scheduled charging modes. You've got next departure time. You can turn that on and get the car to precondition itself on certain days of the week and do certain things with the windscreen. Got AC charge settings, so scheduled charging. Off-peak time has not been set. AC charging current, 60, 90 or 100%. And you can lock the charging cable, always lock, all while charging. I always mention this in the videos, but I would recommend having this on always lock. I don't think it will ever happen, or it hasn't happened to anyone I've heard. It hasn't happened to me. But your Type 2 charging cable is quite expensive. And so is actually a 3-pin charger if you are using one of those. So having this unlock itself when it's fully charged is I don't know, I wouldn't particularly do that because someone might steal your cable. So always lock that, and the cable will not make itself available. You can't take it out unless the car itself has been unlocked. You've got charging limit here, so you've got a charging limit on the DC chargers, so you can actually say only get to a certain percentage. All really good there. Same with AC as well, and it will tell you how long it thinks it will take to get to full. So on 95%, it will take 15 minutes to get to 100. EVs don't charge as quickly past 80%. It's perfectly fine. AC here, 25 minutes on a 7 kilowatt charger, I think that's referencing, and then on a portable charger, 3-pin charger, an hour and a half. The Ioniq 5 also has vehicle to load, so you can say there's a minimum charge level, so once you get to a certain range on the car, stop delivering power to third external accessories, so you can actually move the car if you need to as well. Settings as well, so you've got battery preconditioning or battery conditioning, so rather than having to use the built-in sat-nav like on the older versions of the Ioniq 5, you can now use something else like Apple Maps and dive into this page once you know you're en route to a charger and activate the preconditioning. Got utility mode, so this will use the big battery that you're sat on to power accessories such as the infotainment screen, the climate control and the lights outside, or the lights inside as well. This will be useful when parking for a long time or camping or whatever, and what you can do is turn it on or off if you need to as well. Smart recuperation, so you can set a default level of the regen braking system on the car. There are some paddles behind the wheel, but you can go in here and set a default. Once you've got it on auto by holding in one of the paddles here, it will then do strong, medium or slow, or you can just have it on manual. So if you pull the accessory, got manual, you pull the right hand paddle here, got auto, and I'll cover this a bit more in depth in my main driving review, which is linked in the top right corner or the description down below. You've got plug and charge, which is a certificate-based system. So I honor to use this, and so do Octopus Electroverse, and it means that you can get Tesla-like seamlessness when charging, but with other electric vehicles. It is a very slow rollout at this stage, but it's nice to see that we've got the ID number here and the fact you can turn on and off plug and charge. Hopefully over the coming years we'll see a bit more of this kind of system. It'd be quite handy. EV route planner, so there are some options in here like we saw in the navigation app. Got a minimum charge and the minimum charge on destination, some nice options in there. Yeah, the EV app and the charging app is quite good. Some nice little settings in here like preconditioning and all that sort of good stuff there. The next app is the phone app, and because I've got Apple CarPlay connected, this is just going to launch the phone app that's on your phone through Apple CarPlay. So pretty standard there. Next is Apple CarPlay, and actually we looked at Apple CarPlay a few minutes ago when it was here, and actually this is where the media app will live, where you access the radio and other bits and pieces. This icon here takes you to CarPlay, and then this icon, the other one, the folder with the music icon, takes you to the media app. So this is where you access the DAB radio, AM, Bluetooth audio, USB music, USB video, and Amazon Music. So you've got DAB here, and you've got your radio stations options in here. So you've got DAB, FM, and AM, and you can see I've got all the icons for radio stations in the UK. You can swipe between different stations using this arrows here. Got the album art there as well, and you've got the genre, and you can mark them as favourites. So if I want to mark this one as favourites, for example, it will then go in the favourites section along with other things that someone else has added. Looks like mostly the most popular stations in the UK. We've got AM as well, so there's no stations available, and it is doing a scan now. And then you can see along the bottom, we've got some tabs now. We've got AM, DAB, and CarPlay, and this button here takes you back to the main screen. So you've got Bluetooth audio, which won't be doing anything because I've got CarPlay connected, and then Amazon Music. So this is kind of built into the car, and it will stream music from your Amazon Music account. It would be nice to see that Kia and Hyundai do expand their offering of different apps. So it might be nice to see Amazon Apple Music or Spotify or something. There is SoundCloud on here and Sounds of Nature, and then you've got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. SoundCloud, same kind of thing. It will ask you to log in with your account there. Sounds of Nature, just calming sounds. It's got lively forest on a ship. City at dawn. Yeah, pretty good there. Hopefully they're royalty free. So that's pretty much that. So we'll skip over the CarPlay one now. We've got voice memo, which is a feature that's on all of Hyundai and Kia vehicles. So 3, 2, 1. This is a test of the Ioniq 5 voice memo app. How do I sound? So stop that one and we'll play that back. Of the Ioniq 5 voice memo app. 2, 1. This is a test of the Ioniq 5 voice memo app. How do I sound? So that'll just be using the microphones that's inside the car for doing the hands-free audio system. The microphones look like they're above my head actually, so we'll record another one and speak into the microphone. This is a test of the Ioniq 5 voice memo app. So that might be a bit louder, we'll see. This is a test of the Ioniq 5 voice memo app. So that's definitely where the microphones were if you want to get it a bit louder. 2, 1. This is a test of the Ioniq 5. There we go. This kind of thing will be very useful for people travelling a lot on the road. Sometimes when on the road, you might just be doing nothing or just listening to music. And you might be sort of a brain just is thinking about a lot of things and you just remember something and want to jot it down, but you can't write it down because you're driving. So you just use the voice memo app on your car and you can record stuff for later. I'm going to delete both of those so no one has to listen to those. The next one is the car wash mode. So this is like a checklist of things you should do or need to do before you go into the car wash. So one of them is to fold the mirrors in. It's like an active checklist. So I folded the mirrors in now and it's done that for me. Wipers on off auto basically, and all these kind of things here. And you can start that if you want to and go into the car wash. Just make sure that nothing happens to the car. Got weather as well. So your built-in weather app here, and it just gives you the forecast of what's happening. You've got today here, what it's going to do. Thankfully it's not going to rain. And you've got the forecast for the next few days as well. It's pretty handy. We've got settings here. So this is one of the most extensive things on a Hyundai vehicle is the settings app. So we're going to go through all of the options here and see what we're working with. So the first one is vehicle. Then we've got driver's assistance. So under driver assistance, you've got all the different things that the car will do to help you out, and you've got this checklist thing here. So driving convenience first. So you've got the SCC, or the Smart Cruise Control. Let's click on this one here. It says, based on driving style, it will automatically adjust the cruise control system based on your driving style. A higher setting value for distance increases the automatically kept distance to the vehicle ahead. Do like 2. And then acceleration. So once you indicate and try to go past someone, how quickly will the car maneuver around for you, which is pretty good. And the same for response speed, so that's good as well. I really do think the cruise control features on the Hyundai and Kia vehicles is really top notch. One of the best systems I use. Back to driving convenience here. You've got HDA, or Motorway Driving Assist. It says assistance for driving on motorways according to the set speed and distance while keeping the vehicle centered in the lane. So yeah, it works really well. It will, with this option here, auto motorway speed change, it will pick up the speed limits from navigation data and then adjust itself for that. It all works really well. There is also lane change assist, again, only on motorways, which if you use the indicator, it will then change lanes for you and handle that if you're holding the steering wheel loosely. I do kind of like it, it's quite good. Got drive mode as well, so it says drive mode here, and you can set a default drive mode, which is really handy. Got eco, normal or sport, then the steering can be in sport or normal mode as well. Got brake mode, which is normal or sport, and you've got drive mode, change alert, and eco mode, climate control. Eco mode climate control will just use a little bit less power for the climate control system and try and save a bit of range for you. Drive mode change alert will just let you know that the drive mode has changed, and you've got some different drive modes in here as well. I will go through all the different driver modes and these brake modes in my full driving review, again, which is linked in the description down below. You've got active sound design, so you can have the car play a synthetic sound for driving around. At the moment this is turned off, and you can choose large, moderate or small as changed. It doesn't actually play a sound when it does that, but I like to have that off really. Got climate in here, so there's a load of options in here as well for the climate control system. Loads of nice luxury car features, I kind of think. So air recirculation, so you've got a few things in here. You've got activation upon entering a tunnel and activation on washer fluid use. So that will basically turn on the air recirculation, or just the recirculation for the cabin air. And that will mean that if you've used the washer fluid, it will recirculate the air. And again, same when you're entering a tunnel. And it will close the windows actually when you're entering a tunnel as well. Nice little feature there, I kind of like that. Automatic ventilation, so you've got auto dehumidify, and that will switch to using outside air if the air has got a bit too humid in the car. And then smart ventilation as well, so it'll do automatic start of a ventilation when the indoor humidity increases and you happen to have the climate control turned off. You've also got defog and defrost options. So you've got auto defog, automatic activation of the climate system to prevent fog on the windscreen, and that's on or off. Climate features, so you've got eco mode climate control, which we spoke about a few minutes ago. You've got warmer ventilation based on climate settings here. So that will do automatic things based on what climate settings you have got set. So if you've got things set on warm, it will turn the steering wheel on for heat. Same for the driver's seat as well. Do ventilation or the heat, depending on what you have got set on the main climate control system. Next, you've got seats. You've got warmer ventilation based on climate settings. Again, we just looked at that a second ago. You've got lights, so you've got ambient lighting in here, and you've got the colours. So there is some ambient lighting around the whole cabin, like this in the speaker grills, which is really nice actually. Everything's set to a nice colour. You've got yellow, green, you've got any colour you want here essentially. You've got link to drive mode, dimming under darkened conditions. So you can turn that off or on, and you can set the brightness as well. So you have the brightness set to really low, or you can have it on super high. One touch turn indicator, so you can choose how much the indicator will flash based on the one touch. So 7. You've also got welcome mirror, so it says the condition under which the outside mirrors will unfold automatically. You've got on-door unlock, so when you unlock the doors, the mirrors will unfold, and when the driver approaches the driver's door with the smart key, the mirrors will then unfold as well. Headlight timeout, so after you leave the vehicle and close the doors, how long will the headlights stay on for, and they'll turn off after about 15 seconds. You've got travel mode, so it will, when you're driving abroad, it will switch over to the other side for the side of road you're driving on. Nice and handy there, no more using stickers. You've got intelligent high beams, so it will, as you can see in the picture here, it will block off part of the road where someone else is approaching you, and that will activate at a certain speed, so we can do fast on 12. Interior lights on, so you can turn those on and off if you want to, even in daylight conditions. The next one is doors here. So you've got auto lock, enable on speed or shift, or completely off. So when you set off, will the doors lock by themselves? And you want that on shift, really, in my opinion. So when you shift out of park into drive, the doors will then lock by themselves. Auto unlock, so when will the doors unlock by themselves? So you can do enable on shift or at vehicle off, or just completely off. You've also got auto unlock on approach, so it says the doors automatically unlock when the driver approaches the vehicle with the smart key. And you can turn that on if you want to. You've got power tailgate. The power tailgate button can be used to automatically open or close the tailgate. And then power tailgate opening speed, normal or fast. Power tailgate opening height. You've got fully open level 3, level 2, level 1, or user height setting. So you've also got the smart tailgate, which will open the tailgate based on where your smart key is located, if it's near you or not. And what you can do then is walk behind the car and it will open for itself by itself for you. You've also got remote window control, and this will enable or disable the remote window control function, and you can do that from your phone or on the key as well. Down here we've got convenience. You've got rear occupant alert. So if a rear door has been opened or closed, the driver will then be reminded once they stop that, hey, go and check, someone's not in the back. You've got the service interval here. So it says service needed in 663 days and the distance as well. Advanced anti-theft. So alert on detection of movement in the passenger compartment, even after the vehicle is locked. Wireless charging system for mobile phones, wireless charging of compatible devices, and the wireless phone charging indicator is type 1 or type 2. So type 1 is those dots and type 2 is green dots. Some different options there, different sequences for that. And then the auto rear wiper on reverse. So once you've knocked the car into reverse, it will then it will do the rear wiper for you. That's pretty much it for that section there. That's all of these boxes gone through in one page, and they're just visible from that kind of section there. Got EV, which will probably be the same as what we looked at earlier. It is actually. Got navigation settings, which we didn't look at earlier, but we will look at now. Display, so you've got vehicle speed is shown on the display. Display traffic information in 2D or 3D. Color for traffic on the route, so you can have that on if you want to. And then show POI icons or point of interest icons there. Got guidance here, so you've got EV route planner, route options, so EV route planner, we looked at this a bit earlier. Route options here, so you've got the fastest recommended economic or preferred motorway. Set guidance distance type is interval or cumulative. Distance type displayed for turns and manoeuvres. So you've got the route details there. You've got the border crossing information, so once you enter a new border, it will then show you bits and pieces like this bit here, like traffic information, town, city, motorway and countryside driving, and the phone country code as well. You've got the alerts, so camera alert settings, and camera type. So you've got in here, you've got alert distance depending on the speed limit, alert distance, what distance is actually going to tell you about it, and the camera type as well. You've got map, so you've got map mode, you've got map view here, so you've got 2D north, 2D heading and 3D heading, 3D buildings and auto zoom. And you've got the map font size, which is large or standard. And you've got daytime map color, clean light, clean dark, classic light or classic dark. And there is a little tiny preview on this side here. Auto zoom settings, you've got extra zoom in, default or extra zoom out, and automated features here, so like previous destination settings. Save previous destinations, you've got save timestamp in previous destinations, some other options in here, and display previous destinations when entering the map screen. You've also got automatic return after scrolling, return to map, which is off, and the satellite mode as well. And that tells you how many satellites are actually in use to figure out where you are. You've got sound settings in here as well. So you've got premium sound, which is the Bose system in the Ioniq 5. You've got dynamic speed compensation, which will increase the volume if you're going a bit faster, and it will sort of compensate for any road noise as well. And then volume limitation on startup, so automatic lowering of audio volumes when starting the system. If they are higher than the defined maximum, only applies if the vehicle was off for a certain period of time. So if you've got someone in the vehicle who's used it before you, it will then not have the volume that loud for you, which is good. Makes you sort of not jump. Position, so you've got the center stage here, so that's quite nice. You can move the position around there. Got equalizer, so you've got the treble, mid-range or bass. Guidance volume, so you've got the volume settings here like beeps, alerts, navigation guidance, alerts, voice prompts and ringtones. Navigation alerts like camera alert settings. So you've got the alert distance depending on the speed limit. So you can have the alert distance set at 0.5, 0.2 and at 100 yards. Very similar to what we looked at a bit earlier, but now you've got the volume alert for that as well. Active sound design we looked at a bit earlier as well. That is the fake sound, the synthetic sound for the car. That is turned off currently. Radio noise control, so you've got the original sound, which will be unaltered sound. Got mild noise reduction, and you've got strong noise reduction as well. That will do its best to remove any interference sounds from the radio system there. But yeah, you've got that option in there if you want to. Driver assistance volume, so you've got the warning volumes is on 2. You can have 3, 2, 1 or 0. You've got haptic warning, so if you've got something happening, it will actually vibrate the steering wheel for you. So there are those options there. Speed limit warning sounds, so that's on or off. And what you can do is actually hold down the volume button and that will remove all the warning sounds. So that's why that's off currently. If I hold this down again, that will turn it back on. You've also got speed limit change notification sound. So once you enter a new speed zone, it will then do another beep for you. You've got lane safety warning sound. So enable this warning sound. This warning sound cannot be disabled if the haptic warning is off. So you need some kind of lane assist system there. So it's orange currently, and you're either going to have haptic or sound. So there are those options there. You've got driving safety priority, lowering of all of the audio volumes when a driving safety warning is played, and parking safety priority, lowering of all other audio volumes when a parking assist view is active. And you've got connected devices, you've got Apple CarPlay, and you can specify the volume levels within Apple CarPlay for certain things like the media, the phone, the ringtone, and the navigation guidance, as well as the voice prompt. You've got phone connections in here, so you've got my phone in there, so you can click on the phone. You've got CarPlay, music, and the voice there. That will do hands-free audio, do Bluetooth audio, and then CarPlay. Bluetooth system mode, you've got vehicle name, Ioniq 5, and you can change the name of the car if you want to, and that will change it for Bluetooth. And you've got phone projection, and we've got Apple CarPlay here as well. It's all pretty good stuff. You've got user profile, so I've got my account linked to the Hyundai system. I've got my name, profile image here, security, my iCloud email address, and you can delete your profile if you want to as well. If you have got a profile set, what it will do is change the profile picture on there. And you have got change user here. So you've got add an account, you can switch to my profile, guest driver, or you can add another account in there. So we'll go to my profile here. And you've got voice recognition. So, hey Hyundai, what we can do is hold this button down, and that will try and use Siri actually for the voice assistant there. So you've also got the layout options in here. You've got the gauge style. So at the moment, I've got the gauge on quite an old-fashioned view. We'll look at these modes in a second as well. But you've got modern as well, which will give a more sporty view, and you have got the speed listed there, and simple as well, which has the sport mode, which is kind of what it uses there, and then the classic as well. I think it's in an actual font rather than a dial, which is quite nice to see. Graphic style, link to drive mode. So you've got some different modes here, which we will go through in a second. So you've got the sport mode style, style B, and style A. I quite like the A one. And then you've got screensavers, clock or none, and split screen. You can choose what kind of things you want there. You've got display, so you've got the brightness or auto brightness, and you can come in here and set default. Camera settings, display contents like the reference lines and the rear camera. Blue light filter, so that's on or off, automatic as well. And what you can do is set specific times that you want the blue light filter to come on, or it can just be the surrounding brightness, which is going to define what it does for you. There is also adjust video color, which is grayed out currently. You've got buttons, so you've got the custom buttons. So there is a button on the center console section, which is the hollow star. And you can get it to launch certain things. So you can say phone projection or just Apple CarPlay. The one on the wheel can do certain things as well. So it can launch phone projection or utility mode, or loads of different options in there. Got the mode button. Again, that can also choose certain things for you, like the radio or something else. And then you have got some arrows on the wheel as well. And you can have it toggle favorites or toggle the stations. And then, as I mentioned earlier, you've got the remapping for the volume button. So there is a volume button here, and you can swap them around to do browse media or zoom in and out, and that is kind of what it's going to be doing now, so it's quite handy there. Let's go back to the settings page now. You've also got the cluster and the heads-up display. So some of the settings we're going to look at now is kind of similar to what we looked at a second ago. You've got the brightness, that's kind of what we looked at a minute ago actually. The next one is a Bluelink Settings. So it says that the car is currently enrolled to the system. We've got a user ID, activation state, expiration date, and you've got press to reconfigure. Got modem information here, the VIN number, the IMEI number, and the QR code for everything else, and the network status, and actually the signal strength for the 4G. So it's saying data only, and you've got minus 111. Privacy settings, you've got all services, select services, and offline mode. Terms of use, which is details, and you can see the terms of use for the whole system there. And you've got privacy policy as well. Again, we're not going to go through that as well. And on this section is the general settings now. So software update, there is one in progress, and it is ready to install on the vehicle. There's also system information, so you've got memory, and you've got the capacity on the car, 128 megabytes, got the date and time, auto time settings, and time format, and also daylight saving time. For some reason, this can't happen by itself. It would be quite handy if that happened automatically, but it doesn't actually do that. You've got languages here, so you've got English, Spanish, and all sorts of different languages. You can put the whole car in if you want to. And then the keyboard settings as well. So you've got QWERTY, QWERTZ, ASERTY, ABCD as well. Some nice options in there. You've got units as well, so kilometers or miles, temperature, Celsius or Fahrenheit, and then the pressure there. And then media settings. So you've got media off on vehicle startup, maintain media playback when vehicle is turned off, and then you can reset the entire car if you want to as well. Now that settings are done, let's go through the last few apps here. So you've got calendar. Now, once you've got the Bluelink app on your phone, you can go through the calendar and link your iCal calendar or your Google Calendar to your phone, and then link it to the app as well. Sports, so you've got all the sport teams here, so football, sports, and whatever teams are playing right now. Let's go back a page here. You've got Valet mode, so it will protect your privacy from the data you've got on your car, but you can also see what top speed has been achieved and different things like that as well. You can set a password for that if you're lending the car to someone. Vehicle diagnostics, you've got some options in here. Please stay on the screen. So it says all systems are okay. You've got the chargers, normal, steering, airbag, motor, batteries, and all that sort of stuff in there. And notifications, nothing in there. And the online manual. So you can scan the QR code and get access to that if you want to as well. So next, let's look at the driver's display. So for the driver's display, there's actually quite a few nice options. This is the simple view in terms of the gauge style. The simple, modern, and classic. This simple one is really, really nice. Really simple, obviously, really modern as well. There is the modern one, which is a bit more 3D-like, kind of, and some more thin graphics. And then classic is very old-fashioned in terms of the dials, and it doesn't actually have a number readout for the speed you're doing. It is only on the heads-up display. There is style A, style B, and style C within each one. So this one will be sport mode, this one's probably comfort mode, and this one's probably eco. And you can actually link that to the driving mode if you want to, so whatever driving mode you're in. Then modern, so you've got modern eco, modern comfort. That looks really nice actually. Then modern sports, which is a bit more aggressive looking. Then simple, so that's simple sport with the little checkered flag thing. Simple B, or simple eco comfort, and simple eco as well. Kind of like this one's quite nice actually, a little bit of a green tint to it. But again, you don't have to be in that driving mode to have that theme. In terms of how it's laid out, you've got the speed on the left hand side and the range on the right hand side, and when you accelerate you'll get this section basically move around in terms of how much power you're using. You've got a load of different widgets in the middle, so you have got this wheel on the left hand side, and that will let you to go through each widget. So you've got the trip since last reset, done 51 miles, the efficiency as well, tyre pressure, drive to display, current trip after charging, and you can just hold down the OK button and that'll reset everything for you. And that's some good stuff in there. So the Hyundai Bluelink app for your phone is actually really, really decent. It shows things like where the car is in real time, the range on the car, and how long it's going to take to charge, which is really, really handy. It's very similar to the Kia app and the Genesis app as well. They're pretty much the same kind of thing, but sort of reskinned. I'm just going to have a quick tour of what they've got. So on the top here is a picture of the car with the current percentage and the current range, and whether or not it is disconnected or not, and it is at the moment. It's not connected to a charger. In the top right corner is the notifications, which there is only one of them now, if the car is finished charging, which it did at 6 AM this morning. Current plan, Bluelink Pro, which is going to expire in a few months. That's fine. 310 miles of range. Got the lock and unlock buttons here. It's remote controls for the car. EV service, so you can look in here and see what things need to be done. You can set the departure time, the charge levels, vehicle to load usage limit, and all the sort of stuff we saw in the main screen, just on your phone. Where the nearest charging stations are to you, the current weather where you are, and the valet mode, and also the vehicle status. It says the doors are closed and the air conditioning on, which is correct. You've also got the Bluelink store here, and that allows you to look at certain things you can download for the car. Let's have a quick look in here. What have we got? We've got coming soon. We've got Bluelink Pro. It says over-the-air updates, connected and EV routing, online voice recognition. And that says it's £99 a year. Hyundai remote services and all that sort of stuff there. To be honest, you probably don't need some of these things that it comes with, but that's fine. I've got the calendar at the bottom there, which I'm not going to show, and personal services, calendar, music streaming services. You can look in here and set a music streaming service like Amazon Music or SoundCloud, and this is how you connect those song services or music services to the Hyundai app and the Hyundai car. You've got calendar, same sort of thing. You can log in with your iCloud or Apple Calendar. And then remote control, so you can see here I've got loads of different things I can do. I can actually start preconditioning the battery from my phone, which is really handy. And you can do like hazard lights, climate settings here, and look at the temperature, defrost and warmer, EV servicing. Got status here, so energy efficiency, battery conditioning recommended for charging, the cabin or the target temperature, the range, and all sorts of stuff in here, really, really handy. And then the map, where the car is in relation to where you are. You saw down here, you've got vehicle report. So I really like this kind of thing. It tells you what the car's been doing over time. So there's nothing for today, because I only connected the phone to the car yesterday. But there's like average consumption in here, how many trips you took on a certain day. Really, really decent, actually. It says total for the whole car, it's on recuperation of 75 kilowatt hours. So it's basically over 7,000 miles. It's got basically a tank or a battery for free just from recuperating, which is really handy. And then here you've got your profile name, Hyundai Pay. You can select a new vehicle if you've got one. User settings like the registration, shared car settings, and all sorts of stuff like that. So that's been a look at the infotainment system, the driver's display, and the mobile app for the Hyundai Ioniq 5 for 2025. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. My name's Alex, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again next time.